that it's painful if your only solid nano boost target is a Roadhog, and it sort of does devalue the Ana in a lot of ways. But a lot of tankiness, a lot of protection here, but maybe a little bit more limited mobility for FaZe. But their idea is just to go ahead and sit on the point here at Shrine and try and protect their backline.
That's the plan. Going in with this triple tank is FaZe Clan as we start things off on Shrine.
LG Evil too. This triple DPS has to do a lot of work. They need to get behind Fact Fiction on the Reinhardt in order to create any kind of pressure right here, because a hook could really just sink their entire composition.
Well, we've seen the Reinhardts be so vulnerable to the Tracers, especially today as well. And so Train has a big target to use that on. Louis having to back off a little bit as the dive comes in for LG Evil. A lot of DPS from 3 DPS. Obviously, Spree gets a kill on Jake though, so it's going down. Nice hit from Louis, man. Those hooks have just been amazing all day, and FaZe Clan looks like they're going to claim the point early. Yeah, so the DPS didn't do the thing.
Yeah, it's a really clean take too. I mean, Louis did land the hook eventually. I did like how Emong was playing the Roadhog with a similar composition earlier, which is basically he was guarding the back side of the Reinhardt against the 2 flankers in Genji and Tracer, but still makes it work right there.
Yeah.
You do have to hold your fishing impulses a little bit, I think, if you're a Roadhog with this composition, but at least you have the Zarya shield to back you up.
That's right. Better to wait for targets to try to dive your back line and kind of present themselves to get hooked. Meanwhile, Spree does take down Vol, so already LG Evil struggling a little bit to approach the point, and Spree already with that Graviton Surge basically up, so yeah, FaZe Clan getting kills and at the same time building up more of an ultimate bank to sort of save for when they really need it. And another hook, well,
very late hook there, so nicely done by Louis to just drag out this point. It has been one-sided all the way through right now. LG Evil going to have a huge tack visor and perhaps a Dragon Blade combination if they're going to get anything done right now.
Yep.
Jake on the backside too, as we saw that hook come in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they can try to use Super's Primal Rage to knock people in view of the tack visor. There's a couple things they can attempt to do with this, but FaZe Clan can just respond with their own ultimates. We'll see what they'll do. Spree looking like he may want to throw out the Graviton Surge here. Be a little bit overeager, but when you see the Zarya pushing forward and threatening, it's enough, and LG Evil just backing off.
I mean, Jake was killed right at the beginning of that fight, so there's no pressure from LG. They don't have a choice. They have to back off, and they are having such a difficult time cracking this tanky death ball that FaZe Clan has parked on the point.
They've got to do it now, though. I mean, it's up to 87 points, and they are going to dive in. We'll see what they can accomplish with it. There's a Graviton Surge, though, and Jake already claiming 2 at the tack visor. LG Evil coming up big with this fight, but Shadowburn trying to equalize, gets 3 with the dashes. Wow, during the ultimate. But at the end of the day, LG Evil, enough people standing to take that point. It was a valiant effort, but FaZe Clan, they saved a lot of ultimates. They lost that one gracefully. They know they've got tons of % to make it up.
I mean, we can talk about Spree there, maybe not wanting to commit that. Raucus did die with the nano boost up, so he's going to be coming back with it.
Oh, they're already
Shadowburn already using that. They have to put it onto the whole hog.
Oh, there's a nano whole hog, like you said, pushing everybody out. Super just dies straight up. Turning, he knew where that Tracer was going to be, and Fact Fiction takes on Vol. They take the point back, and as the remaining members get taken down, that is it, and FaZe Clan will claim Shrine.
I'm really surprised. I don't think LG Evil approached that point properly. They were not really setting up their flanks in an effective way. Yeah. So when you give that much freedom to the Reinhardt just to stand there and absorb all your damage, and you're not chipping him down, you're not trying to turn that shield, you're not even punishing Louis, who is getting very aggressive with his hooks, not saving that cooldown for if you did get around to the side of the flank. So I think that was pretty much a freebie for FaZe.
Well, it almost seemed like they were trying to, they had their triple DPS, but they were playing it like a 2-2-2 dive, right? They were playing it like they had that second tank to sort of keep their DPS safe as they kind of went headlong into the enemy team.
Yeah, they're going to try it again. All the same here as we go into Sanctum. We're not going to see a switch either.
Well, coming from flanking options with Sanctum, but we'll see if they use them. FaZe, yeah, if it's not broke down, fix it. Go for it.
They weren't ever really challenged on the point last time, so why not pause the game?
All right. A little bit of time to think, I suppose, but you know, if we look at what FaZe Clan has too right now, I mean, they've got that Reinhardt, and what LG Evil is throwing into it is not going to be breaking down that shield too quickly either. So they can kind of win those sort of slow grinding pushes too with this comp, it seems like.
Yeah, and if you're going to get on the point and try and actually contest it, the real danger here is that it's hard. FaZe is slow. They're running a slow composition. If they don't get the point first, it is hard for them to retake because it's sort of a slow march forward back onto the point, trying to push them off. And once you have a flank, all the angles established, you're going to have a lot of trouble. But if you're on the point first, it's so hard to dislodge them because the DPS coming in may not actually be enough to get over the Zarya shield, to get over the tankiness that they're presenting to you. It becomes really challenging.
Well, and it doesn't hurt that when you've got 3 tanks, well, Shadowburn's your 1 DPS. He's, popping off. For lack of a better term. And not to mention that Louis is also providing a very legitimate damage and kill threat as well. Yeah, that's very hard to deal with in and of itself, not to mention the fact that they were able to take the point first, and they have historically as well throughout the day.
Yeah, and I think that when you're playing this, everything about your triple DPS is playing around the cooldown of the hook. And so I think Louis has honestly been giving them a lot of openings, but they haven't been able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we look at how this FaZe clan is looking now with Louis added in there, and it's really we're seeing a new dimension to this team that I don't think we've ever seen before. I mean, we casted these guys back in MLG Vegas back in December. It's been a little while since then. But
a lot of changes
today's team, a lot of changes in the game as well. But the team we're seeing today looks very different than that team then.
Yeah, and they're already kind of showing themselves as contenders. Oh, I was gonna.
You had to do it. You almost lasted the last match.
The problem is this is a good term by itself. Like it stands alone. I'm not
that the tournament stole that word for its name.
Can't believe it. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to rename it.
How dare they?
Okay, no. But no, and I think Louis is somebody that has just done it today in more ways than one, and he's had good recent results as well. But all of these teams have really shown themselves, and it's just the start because we've still got 5 weeks of this where teams are going to continue to, and players are going to continue to rise to the occasion.
Hopefully,
yeah, I guess right.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
If you want to use the word contenders, maybe we could ask Blizzard to change the tournament name to try real hard.
Try
Overwatch. Try real hard.
Alrighty, I'm writing that down.
Try real hard auditions. There we go.
It sounds we're making a reality show now. This is no longer.
Hey, it's better than certain team names we've seen today.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, there were some great ones.
There was some. Yeah.
Well, I'm speaking mostly to F Energy, FE.
Oh, hey, at least they had a great logo.
Yeah,
the
they do have a great logo.
Pretty funny.
Keep the logo. That logo goes with anything. You can keep the logo.
It's true. It's not very
change
specific. Yeah, you were critiquing some logos earlier. I thought maybe you'd latch on to the corn dog. No?
We latch on to the corn dog.
Yeah. I don't know. If it weren't for the delicious food that I've had today, I'd want to latch onto a corn dog right now. But it looks like we're coming back into maps, and we'll let you guys take it away.
On that note.
Yes.
All right, well, like we talked about earlier, FaZe Clan just walking across the high ground with that Reinhardt, and there's not a whole lot LG Evil can do about it. They actually backed off, so everybody kind of backing off a little bit. Here we go. Point available now, and the battle begins. So we'll see who ends up taking it. Again, it's just so hard to break into what FaZe Clan has there. But Louis actually goes down. Jake gets the flank.
I mean, the thing about that with Louis right there is he was very separated from the rest of his team. And this is kind of the thing. Louis has been showing mechanical prowess, but maybe not the best coordination. New player on this team, to be fair.
Sure, yeah. Still something we haven't seen a whole lot tonight. Well, the Pulse Bomb ended up sticking to the outside of the shield. Backfiction did go down after the shield dropped, though. They're going to go ahead and nano boost Spree, and he's looking for some targets, chasing away Super for the moment, but Super just kind of lingering on the point for the second as everyone tries to come back on. They tried to set up a boop for a Vast, but it didn't come through, and FaZe Clan gradually grinding down LG Evil, and they will take the point.
Shadowburn doing some work again, picking off the back members of LG Evil, and Spree nearly getting up to that Graviton Surge with the help of that nano boost. So they're going to try and camp here. And this is another one of those times where this tanky composition that is so crowd control heavy can really take advantage of these choke points.
Yeah.
And Train just dies to a dash. So.
Oh, man. Shadowburn already giving LG Evil a pretty tough time. And there goes drop for 20, yeah. I mean, Jake goes and pops Attack Visor. Don't know if that was, well, he's trying to make something out of it. Gets Shadowburn at least, but he's kind of short-handed here as they try to get to the point. They can't get on the point. That's the thing. And with Louis getting the stick, now on that Tracer, FaZe Clan in good position to hold on to this one, and they will.
Yeah, making it look easy, honestly, because even though Shadowburn died, he was always going to be coming back in with that Dragon Blade. Jake was very optimistic by popping that Tack Visor, and it didn't really do him any favors.
And now they try to hold the choke. And with a comp like this, it can be pretty tough to break through this doorway if you're LG Evil. We'll see what they can do.
Especially with this Graviton.
Trying to just run past, yeah. Well, poor Lucio. Avast taken out almost immediately. Louis picking up that kill. But a few members of LG Evil did get on the point. They're trying to flip it.
Oh, they did flip it.
Whoa, sneaking that one away from FaZe Clan. Whoops, Vol pulls out the Dragon Blade, but doesn't survive long enough to really put it to use. Shadowborn, meanwhile, still has his, and FaZe Clan able to take it right back again. So a few members of LG Evil able to sneak past and take it, but not a big problem for FaZe.
I mean, the back cap was cute, but the problem is that even though it looked like they only were able to get Avast with the pulse or with the Graviton, he was clutch because he was the one coming in with the sound barrier.
Yeah.
So there wasn't going to be the support ult or the protection on the backside. Pulse bomb not going to find a target.
Yeah, Joe Meister narrowly avoiding death there, and LG Evil sneaked the point away yet again. Super takes out Fact Fiction, and now Shadowburn fighting for his life goes down, and LG Evil with the best opportunity they've had in Nepal yet to get some real traction going on a point.
Jake being the hero for his remaining support, making sure that Rob420 wasn't going to end up going down to Shadowburn and wasting his Dragon Blade. So FaZe gonna have to take some time to recover from this. Yes, they only have 12% to go, but it's going to be a long, long time. Spree actually switching over to the Diva right now. They know the tac visor's coming up soon, and they want to get into Jake's face and make sure it's not going to do any damage.
Yeah. And Vol sneaking around the outside as well. Vol and Jake are doing pretty good the last few months. FaZe back on the point again, getting a lot of control percent actually on that one, or control meter rather. Super just trying to delay for the moment, and they've got FaZe kind of bottled up in that room. We'll see if they can utilize it here. Again, you know, not really an angle that the attack visor works out. And speaking of not working out, that Earth Shatter not accomplishing a whole lot. The kills coming in, and Tranquility used by LG Evil just to make sure. Great boot by Avast to get Spree out of the way. And that's going to be another solid hold, and now LG Evil really threatening to take this one.
Very patient by LG Evil, firing into the choke point on the point just to make sure that they could get the barrier down from the Reinhardt before engaging, and cleanly taking it, just cycling players through and wasting that Earth Shatter.
Yeah.
You see them jumping back right here. Well, the Earth Shatter had already gone down, but the trance coming in at exactly the right time as Super was getting low. They had to contest considering that it had almost already been taken, and now they're up at 94%, and Train has picked up too.
Yep, that's definitely a good start for LG Evil. They have decided won that fight, and I don't know if FaZe Clan's even going to get to the point to contest it. No, they don't. So we are all tied up here on Nepal, and we have ourselves a match.
Yeah, a little bit ill-timed on that replay. We couldn't see what happened exactly in the beginning of that last fight that started the snowball with Train with the pulse bomb. But you know, FaZe tried to outlast them there, but that's what I was talking about. Retaking that point can be very difficult with the composition that they were using, because if you have a spread of DPS where they're firing from multiple angles, very difficult to continuously hide behind that Reinhardt shield without it cracking and then them re-engaging.
Train just doing a good job of getting in behind the supports and kind of getting that those kills unopposed. It's a good tracer flank. When you put tracer flank together, you get Trank. It's kind of what you could call Anna Sleep Dart too, I suppose. But look at this, Jake over on the Mei this time as LG Evil swaps to their own triple tank comp. Interesting. You can never say that Mei isn't good on Village. The wall is so useful in controlling parts of the points. They got to get there fast. They do. And now they got to defend the point. Wait for it to activate.
Shadowburn, they're trying to play both sides right now. FaZe with the Tracer and the Genji. Poke in slowly.
Yeah, Mei helps with that. Walling off one side. Train ready. Oh, Hook just not connect. And Raucus actually manages to take out Rob420. Kills coming in for FaZe Clan. So despite the change in strategy from LG Evil, it does not work out.
Well, one of the things that with LG Evil is that they had a very low range composition. You're looking at a Mei, you know, we had the Zarya in there at the time.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't really, as long as FaZe was playing both sides and just poking them continuously, they didn't really have a way to return that damage. And eventually FaZe managed to get them low. Raucus hit that first shot on Zenyatta, and they managed to get the first pick. They won them the first point.
I think a speed boost in there again. Ooh, that looked like it could have been a good pulse bomb, but didn't end up getting anyone in the end. Shadowburn coming around the outside, and now LG Evil just doing anything they can to stay on it. But Shadowburn has different plans. Avast falls almost immediately. Goodbye, Diva. We knew where she was headed anyway. FaZe Clan's going to hold on to this one. Only about 50% of the control meter built up by LG Evil there before they were forced off.
Jake has the Blizzard now, so maybe they can do something with this, get that onto the point. But with how mobile this composition is from FaZe, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to really catch anybody on the point itself.
Yeah.
See where this Blizzard goes. Spree has a chance to eat it with the defense matrix. They should know it's up.
Yeah. Gotta be careful. There's a sound barrier. LG Evil having to use that one maybe a bit earlier than they wanted to, but they did kill Shadowburn. A freeze comes in on Spree as well, so good start for LG Evil. Train manages to take down Spree after he pops out of the mech, and they are ready to stay on the point right now. Can he land the right clicks? Ooh, he doesn't need to. Vol helping out with the finishing damage there. And LG Evil not really having to dedicate a lot of those ultimates to take the point here.
Well, Rob420 had a great biotic grenade on his entire clump team to start off of that fight. They used...
And a pause.
And a pause again.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jake holds on to the Blizzard, and that's very helpful. You would much rather use that to defend the point than attack it because, you know, obviously they're going to have to try and flip it at some point in time. And with the mobility, it was very unlikely that anybody was actually going to get frozen. So Jake holding on to that really, really big. And Joe Meister also holding on to the beat. Important because as soon as Shadowburn went down, they took a step back and they said, okay, we're not going to actually commit the sound barrier at the moment. Let's hold on for the next attack. We already got, what, 75% at this point.
Yeah, and they've given up 75%. Now, LG Evil are going to have an ultimate advantage coming into this next one, but yeah, FaZe Clan definitely set up for success coming out here to try to pull this series to 2-1. Coming in this one, I really like LG Evil's adaptation here. And honestly, looking at FaZe Clan playing these 3 tank lineups, well, LG Evil is no stranger to tanks. You know, they really thrived in that 4-tank environment. And so really, it's a little bit of a modified 4-tank with that Mei providing that wall on one side and just the survivability that she inherently has as well. But I really actually like that.
Well, the problem though is yes, they have so much CC. You know, you've got the Blizzard, it's already up. You have the Graviton that's already up. There's 1% until Super goes ahead and gets his Earth Shatter. But you need people to commit to you. And when we saw the first point, FaZe was unwilling to do that. Again, poking from the sides. You have no range. You've got D.Va, Zarya, Reinhardt, and Mei. You cannot actually trade poke with them. So as long as FaZe is patient and continues to play the outside, they can hope that LG is going to throw the Graviton out there to try and stop them, because otherwise they're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah, and without that CC, there's just not a lot of damage coming out of that team too. So if they can't crowd control, they can't really do much.
Yeah, and it's a huge mind game, right? Because what we're going to see is LG wants them to come into the point. FaZe wants them to waste that crowd control. And FaZe has so much time to work with now, considering they're already up by over 70%.
Yeah, no, I think Rob420 is going to be an integral part of this as well, because, you know, with all the poke coming in, if they can stay healthy and potentially counter strike when FaZe Clan does engage.
That's a different game, actually.
Oh, dang it. They might be able to make something happen, but we're going to find out right now whether
Counterblade, I think is the term you were looking for there.
So FaZe here should set up again. Send Louis to one side, send Shadowburn to the other, and just start poking in.
Yeah, I'll see if they can draw at any of those ultimates. Lucio upping the tempo, but he hasn't dropped the beat. And Louis looking for an opportunity for the pulse bomb. And Rockus says the Spurt Orbs could be big too. Yep, that certainly helped. Vol. Oh, taken out by the Pulse Bomb, and FaZe Clan coming in big now. The Blizzard dropped, but it leaves a lot of the point available for FaZe Clan to work with. LG Evil still holding on. They get the Sound Barrier off, and that Earth Shatter, it did help them take out, I believe, Shadowburn in the end. Not a lot else. People falling on both sides, and it's a brawl inside. That self-destruct, though, going to force LG Evil out and maybe give FaZe Clan a little bit of time. We'll see. Everybody's back up again. Oh, except for Train, who goes down now.
But see, this is the problem with this composition.
Yeah,
they had to use all of the crowd control, and they still lost the fight.
Yeah.
Poke in, land that pulse bomb, and guess what? Shadowburn's coming back with the Dragon Blade.
I mean, and again, you know, that CC didn't do enough. You know, you need to use the CC to get kills, and they were able to zone FaZe Clan a little bit, but as soon as it's down, they can come right in unopposed, and they do.
Yeah,
so now, over 80% for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, FaZe played that perfectly. When you get the initial 2 picks, it doesn't matter if they're going to blow out their CC on you. You can go in there, and we saw the preemptive use of the Primal Rage just to stay alive in that.
Right. And the Dragon becoming Shadowburn right now. Let's see what he can get with it. Okay, that works. Kill feed lighting up, and FaZe Clan doesn't even let LG Evil come close to the point as they jump out to a lead. Here on Nepal. So, 2-1 lead. FaZe Clan putting themselves 1 round away from winning day 1 here on Overwatch Contenders. Or Overwatch Try Real Hard Auditions, in case we want to use the phrase Contenders for anything.
Shadowbird just catching everybody in the hallway too.
Yeah, that's not a room you want to be in with Shadowbird. All right, here we go. Back to a pause.
That's, of course, our last match of the day.
There you go. Yeah, we've made it. We survived so well today without a lot of delays.
Yeah.
Oh well. Hey, we're back.
They're ruining everything. Our perfect record. No, I did learn something new. Yeah, you don't want to be in small rooms for with Shadowburn. So for future lands, now we know that. No, but I guess not much has happened. Yeah. But I can't help but think though, because the idea of closing that point off with May, they just weren't able to find any kills. I'm wondering what would have happened if they maybe had just one extra DPS instead of bringing that heavily tanky composition. Because even with the CC, I guess if you're not going to be able to execute on kills, then maybe just being able to find the extra DPS.
Well, you got to talk about follow-up, right? I mean, the first step is landing that CC effectively. And then once it's landed, then you need everybody to focus the right targets too. So, even though, yeah, it's tanky, everyone looks like they're really hard to kill on that team. On the flip side of that, it's actually kind of complicated to coordinate a strong team fight there too.
And you can follow it up with that short range if they all are attacking from one direction. But it was credit to FaZe's play that they were very intentionally coming around for those flanks. And when you had, say, the Winston and the Tracer on one side and the Genji and the rest of the team on the other side, it becomes much more possible to land meaningful crowd control.
Right.
Because if you think about how it plays out, okay, well, you crowd control one side, and everybody sort of goes over, you move your 6 players over there, but all of a sudden you have a Winston and a Tracer in your back line doing immense amounts of damage to you, and you just get sandwiched and die. So
yeah, and you can even see Super, turning around. He didn't even know where to put his shield, and I was just thinking, just swing your hammer at this point, man. We know you want to do it anyway. Yeah. It didn't quite work out the way they wanted, and they were getting that May wall, and that people were coming in from one side from FaZe, but during the duration of that May wall, they weren't able to find anything, and then they ran across the problem that we had just mentioned.
Sure.
Well, that brings it to 2-1 here for FaZe Clan. Is LG Evil? Is their gas tank empty, or what are we going to see here coming out of this next point?
They've shown some flexibility, right? I mean, it's good that they're trying different things. Now, what they tried on Village ended up being fairly easy to read for FaZe Clan, but at least they're not, still throwing the same thing they threw in the first 2 rounds, right? We'll see what they do here. On round number 4, we're back to Shrine again, and it looks like it is kind of back to what they tried then too. So remember, if we go back to that Shrine round a little bit earlier, they kind of went for a very binary approach, right? Just diving in one direction. We need to see those flanks that we didn't really see be successful before from LG Evil.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going to come back with that same strategy, and we're going to see the same thing from FaZe. Nobody really taking any kind of gambles here.
Shadowburn able to harass the outside, and just such a solid 3-tank core with Louis on the Roadhog. Let's watch out for that Discord orb, though. That certainly is a problem.
Yeah, Louis playing much further back this time.
Oh, yeah.
LG trying to get that flank in, and they're going to dive right in with the Winston, but that's going to be it.
Yeah, Super kind of on his own without too much support there. And uh-oh, that's a problem. Jake taking a nap, and yeah, Soldier's kind of old, but that is not the time you take a nap. Vol does take out Back Fiction, but FaZe Clan still with the, well, for the moment anyway, they have the advantage, but LG Evil on the outside, if they can bring this fight back to the point, maybe they can take it, but Spree's not going to have any of that. Grabbing 2, maybe even more here.
Spree just found everybody stacked up on that re-engage. Easy pickoff. On to Rob 420 on the Zenyatta.
Well, I think we saw FaZe Clan respond really well to that, right? When the fight started to go poorly, they pulled back into the center. LG Evil kind of found themselves in a group kind of on the outside exposed, and FaZe Clan knew how to handle that.
And Vol did manage, fortunately for LG, to actually pick up the Dragon Blade, but considering that the sound barrier already been built up, might be a little bit tricky.
That's aggressive. FaZe Clan trying to win a fight right here. They get 2 already, make it 3, and yeah, that pushes over. Vol still with the Dragon Blade, though. Rob 420 getting close to his Transcendence, but in the meantime, FaZe Clan getting very, very close to having 5 ultimates themselves that just stagger and kind of hold this for a long time.
I like the fact that they used that Graviton so aggressively just to get those 2 kills. They weren't waiting for the setup. This time, everybody just goes, they see the opportunity, they take it immediately because they know that Shadowburn has been a bit slow to get his Dragon Blade in this particular game.
Yep, all right, here we go. LG Evil throwing everything they've gotten to this one. Yeah, Vol not surviving out of that. Shadowburn still not even having to use the Dragon Blade. He's got Zenyatta zoned out. Rob 420 not really able to get in, but Jake responding, getting the kills along with Train. That LG Evil need to take this point back. And so in the end, despite the start looking a little bit shaky, the DPS comes through and LG Evil is going to get some control percent building.
But that's fine if you're FaZe. You got everything you want. LG Evil had to throw the kitchen sink at you in order to take that point. And Raucus holds on. He's been sitting on this nano boost for most of this point so far, just waiting for Shadowburn. And this is where the old FaZe really shines through. Raucus and Shadowburn continuing to play very heavily around the Dragon Blade, just like they used to.
Shadowburn milling around in the beginning of the fight. They've got Train a little bit low. Yeah, very aggressive defense by LG Evil, but now Shadowburn has a chance to get into the back lines. He's gonna try to chase down Jake, who makes a run for it. He's got the nano boost too, so no kills, but zoning LG Evil very effectively. Now we'll see if they can get the positioning. Nice reflect, gets him with the Helix Rocket, and FaZe Clan on top of this one in spades. Whoa.
Yeah, Louis hit the initial hook, and that took Zenyatta right out of that fight. And another sleep dart here going to be absolutely brutal. Oh, rewind right into the same place.
Yeah.
Still can't get the fleeing tracer, but of course you're all the way back to spawn, and now we're looking at 94% here.
This could be it for FaZe Clan. They could win day one right here, right now. Spree has that Graviton Surge ready to go. Let's see when he decides to use it. There it is, thrown to the floor. Where's the follow-up? Shadowburn takes down a Vast right away. Soundberry coming in for FaZe Clan without the Lucio and LG Evil side. That gives FaZe a big advantage in this fight. The Dragon Blade coming out, and it's time for Shadowburn to go to work, or rather Vol trying to go to work here. Getting the kills he needs, and actually FaZe Clan being pushed back here. They may lose the point. They've got time again. Shadowburn trying to equalize. Coming in now. There's his Dragon Blade, but he's not got a lot of health. And with the sound barrier on LG Evil's fight, this has turned into a total solo queue brawl. We'll see if Shadowburn can come through. No, the point flips over for LG Evil. It's got a little bit crazy at the end here.
It has, but it is definitely worth trading that Dragon Blade for the beat, because now they're not going to have it with all their members coming back for LG Evil.
As soon as this Transcendence is done for LG Evil, they may be in for a world of hurt from FaZe Clan. There are ultimates ready to go, and there's one right now. Nano boost for the whole hog, pushing everybody out. FaZe Clan going to take the point back in just a second, maybe as soon as they can get rid of that Tracer. Being irritating, Jake responding with the attack visor, but again, not getting a ton with that. Nice hook onto a Vast again. Louis coming through in a big way. And with Fact Fiction getting that kill on the Jake, yeah, they've got it all. Time ticking away. One last ditch effort for Train as he comes in here. But that overtime bar is ticking. FaZe Clan so close to winning day one here, and it looks like they will do it right here, right now. FaZe Clan taking down LG Evil 2-0.
And it just Shadowburn using that ultimate so well. You may say, okay, he didn't get anything with that, but he got the beat out, and that is absolutely huge.
Yeah, at the end when there was that little skirmish, and LG Evil, you know, Vast felt that he really needed to drop that sound barrier. And this was a little bit earlier too, where he saw Spree kind of discover LG Evil exposed on the side. That's what happens.
And I might have to go watch the footage again, but I'm pretty sure in that second to last team fight, Shadowburn had 2 Dragon Blades throughout the course of that. He led off with it. I think it was when he was chasing down Soldier. Maybe that might have been the fight before.
I mean, that was a little bit earlier, but I mean, there are very few Genjis that get Dragon Blade as fast again as Shadowburn does. So,
but regardless, with the speed with which he gets that Dragon Blade, that's where the value comes in when you trade it for the sound barrier. And what they did was they popped the sound barrier, but there were only a couple people on the point, right? If they had been able to save it to when the entirety of LG Evil come back, that's when it really becomes worth it. So they just didn't have that opportunity because they used it too early, and Shadowburn forced them to make that decision.
Well, I'll tell you what, FaZe have come out on top, and they really strong-armed their way to the top of the seeding. And yeah, and that means they are going to have that first seed coming in, which means they're going to be hopefully getting the best group to be in, which is going to lead them into the bracket stage
Well,
with an advantage.
I'm liking the way FaZe Clan is looking right now. I mean, we talked a lot about Louis today, but the entire team, showed a lot of poise, a lot of, good play as far as ult efficiency goes. And I kind of think it got better throughout the day as well, which is kind of encouraging to see. So, yeah, impressive performance by FaZe.
And they were a big question mark coming into this one. When we first saw them apply, even weeks ago, looking at this roster, it was a little bit of wow, there's a lot of good players. Spree is a great addition, I think. But how are they really going to perform? Because we've seen many organizations, even throughout the history of esports, have tried to put together super teams or the like. And I think that maybe FaZe Clan really have found something with what they've got here. The question is, how is that going to stand up when other teams start maybe getting more game tape on them?
We'll see.
But we're gonna have that option.
We got a lot of matches ahead of us to find that out, don't we?
Plenty.
So a great many of them. Trying to just come up with like the only other themes I saw from that one is, I guess, LG Evil, who have been very adaptive throughout their history, were just unable to find anything. And I don't know how much of that was they just didn't have any strategies, or they thought they could they thought they had the best approach, and they just weren't matching up.
Yeah, I think it's tough for them. Their triple DPS compositions, I don't think they were getting the most desirable flanks that they could have achieved. And then they were outsmarted trying to use that composition, the low-range composition on Village, and sort of they were not given an opportunity to execute in the way they wanted to because of the way that FaZe was playing.
Yeah, certainly good performance by them either way today, but just kind of coming up short at the very end.
Yeah, and that's they made it to the second place here. And honestly, well, let's just take a look at tomorrow real quick.